Welcome to Tiffdoesloans Podcast. So today I'm streaming with Glenn Barnes. How are you doing?
I am doing good, and thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure being
Yes,
here.
thank you so much. So Glenn is with the Barnes Realty Group, and he is out there, one of my realtor partners in Houston, Texas. So we are going to cover a lot of ground today, kind of the market out there, on top of for our Californians that are all, migrating over to Texas. He's going to give us the inside scoop, tips, advice on what to do, and really how to get that journey started if that is you. So thank you so much. And then just kind of get in here, Glenn, why don't you just kind of tell us what led you into real estate and how you created your the Barnes Realty Group, and how long that you've been in there.
Sure thing. So I'll start off by saying I'm not originally from Texas. I'm not a local. So I moved here December 2009. I am originally from the Windy City, and I have been called a Yankee once or twice. so,
So which
so that
one's
is
the
a real
Windy
thing.
City? Sorry.
So the Windy City is Chicago. So I am from
Okay.
the south side of Chicago. So I moved here for work and um, graduated with a degree in accounting and thought I was going to get a job right away. And it just did not work that way in Chicago. So my employment led me to Chicago, where I worked, got a chance to really learn a lot about the city of Houston. And fast forward, I had a baby on the way. I had a job that was paying $46,000 a year, had all these hospital bills, and it just wasn't going to cut it. So, so I started looking into real estate. I had a month of paternity leave, and I said I'm going to get trained during that month's time, you know, and get into real estate. So fast forward, that here I am now. But it all
Wow.
started 2009 with the birth
In
of my
like
son.
1 month, and you just went did you go straight into your own brokerage? Because this is your group, right? Or did you kind of start somewhere else?
So I started with Coldwell Bankers. So they
Okay.
had a month of training, which was mandatory.
Yeah.
And I had a full-time job at the time. So I had to figure out how in the world was I going to do a whole month of training from 8 to 5 o'clock. I just had to use my paternity leave. So my ex-wife now, at the time, she agreed to it. And during that month time, I was in training. So, um,
And with the baby full time too. And
and with the
yeah,
baby
you
full
are on
time.
maternity. Yeah, like maternity leave is great, but yeah, you still have the baby full time.
Exactly, exactly.
Like, I
So,
feel like you had like 3 full jobs going on.
oh
So yeah,
yeah, oh yeah.
that's amazing.
So, but a lot of changes happened. I lost 125 pounds during that year, and I got my license in
Wow.
real estate. So, a
Okay.
lot of
I am a
changes.
big fitness mindset, um, just goal-oriented person. So we are going to dive back into that
Most
shortly. Like
definitely.
what was your main motivator there?
For the weight loss,
To
definitely.
keep you, you had to have been hanging on to something very strongly. Um,
Yes.
yeah. Like
So
what was that mean? That main thing.
the wake up call was when I bent over to tie my shoes and I had to hold my breath. And I
Oh
thought
my
to myself, how am I going to chase after a kid that might have the same energy level as me? It's not going to work. So
God.
I started running, and back at the time, they had this thing on the Xbox called Xbox Fitness, and had a little avatar of myself. And
Yeah.
so
That's amazing. See, those video games that, I got really excited when they brought like the Wii around and stuff, because I
hmm
was like, at least people are moving around.
it worked
So
for me.
you see, because it, and I always like to like look at what you did. I think of it like a click, like
hmm
like you that was your click to where it's like everything changed. Like
Oh yeah.
how am I going to chase this child? But it's so amazing how you pinpointed it in that, like, that's what hit for you. And I feel like everybody, when they are successful at reaching this like super hard goal that maybe they've tried so many other times, but nothing ever panned out. But it's like, I love to know like the little, like, what was that click for you? So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
because it
Transformational
is
moment.
not easy. Yeah. But
Oh
it
yeah.
seems like you were definitely determined. If you did that like in over a year,
Yeah,
do
it
you
took
still
about a year's
run?
time. I ran this morning until the rain stopped me, but yes, I still run. Occasionally, I'll keep running in the rain, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest, I didn't have it today.
Yeah. I've run in the rain, but I think my rain's a lot different. Like, I don't know, because like I'm in like Southern California, I'm like at Huntington Beach. So I feel
Okay,
like our rain is more like a sprinkle. Like like I imagine in other places it's probably a lot worse, but
it
whatever.
depends.
It's too, yeah.
Yeah, I've been the
So
full downpour. But yes, so that was definitely the transformational
wow.
moment. Um, and I was in real estate no more than a month before I went to a laundromat. I put some business cards in there, and lo and behold, I got my first listing from realtor cards in a
Wow.
laundromat. So that was my first
Yeah.
listing, and I'll say everything works. It just
Yeah.
it's a numbers game,
That,
and sometimes a little bit of luck.
that's amazing. Well, congrats on all of it, the brokerage, but also, just wow, you really like stuck in there and like you made those changes that you wanted to make. So I love those stories. And then so like since this market has been tough, so you started in 2009. So you've definitely been through the market shifts for sure. So this one,
Definitely.
what were some adjustments that you had to make on this past one, maybe the past couple of years? Any adjustments that you made to help your borrowers, to help educate them, or
Yes, definitely. In this market shift, we are seeing a lot more new construction, a lot more new
yeah,
construction with buyers, and mainly that's speaking to the interest rate deals that they're doing. A lot of times with all the various different builders. Um, and one of the ways we help them is by education. So we help our lender partners as well, because every single lender is not giving you, say, 3.99% without discount points.
yeah,
So a lot of times we, put them in touch with lenders and we have them explain to them what discount points are and how that 20,000 in discount points, that you might be paying to get that interest rate versus paying, 2,500 with another lender might not be the best deal. So we educate our buyers. We go through the loans with them. We go through the estimations and the cost worksheets that the lenders give them. And we just make sure that our buyers are getting the best terms.
yeah,
But the marketing for the 3%, for the 2.99% or the 0.99%, and explaining to them what a 2-1 buy down is, what's a 3-1 buy down is so flexible as far as interest rates in this market. It is totally different.
yeah.
Um, totally different. We didn't see this in 2009. We didn't see this really from 2009 to, I would say, even 2022.
Hmm.
Because I
Yeah,
want to say,
2022 was, well, it doubled that year.
yeah, I
Like
was trying to sell
in the
my house.
beginning.
I was
Yeah,
selling my house in July 2022. I watched the interest rate go from 4% to 8% in 2 months.
exact. Yeah, that was insane, and I don't think, because a lot of people, that was sad that year, because in the beginning of the year in 2022 there were we were in the 3%, maybe like most people were qualifying with like 3.25, 3.5, and then a lot of them got into those builder
Hmm.
deals, which it was absolutely devastating.
Right.
because then in September, now their houses are like are built, and now
Hmm.
we're like going to get them into the loan. And it doubled. It was like by September of that year, it was like 7.75. And like, unfortunately, I don't know if you saw it over there, but
Oh
like a lot of
yes,
people were losing these building contracts that they were already in.
because they couldn't
Uh,
qualify anymore.
no,
They
yeah,
watched the
they
interest rate
well, it was
almost
double.
double. Yeah.
I got really lucky, like, and this is like a needle in a haystack, but I had one veteran that I was like, oh no. Like he was like, my house is built. And I was like so devastated to like call him. And his wife had actually gone on Social Security. So it's like
Oh
the
wow.
one instance that there was actually income added, but like that was not any other people's cases, you know?
Oh
Like
wow.
in that time frame, they weren't going to have any extra income, but this one was like a needle in the haystack. And luckily, they did add an income due to, like Social Security. So they
That's
were
a big
still
question.
able to get, yeah, they were still able to get in their home, but yeah, that was really tricky. That was sad to me.
It is, and that's
Yeah,
one of the first questions we ask our buyers. We ask them where they are as far as income projection.
yeah,
It sounds like a question you normally wouldn't ask a buyer, but it's very important in this market because if you get into a house and you're just qualifying,
yeah,
um, you want to have your buyer be in a position where they're not house poor.
yeah,
So if they're just qualifying, yes, under because they have to qualify over the full interest rate. So if
yeah,
they're doing a 2-1 buy down, they're doing a temporary 2.99, they have to qualify at that 5%. If they're just
yeah,
qualifying, but yet they're on an income rise, whereas in the next year they might be making another 15 or $20,000, you can comfortably say this is a good fit for you.
yeah.
But if you're
But
not
most
in
are
that position,
not.
then you might need to rethink it because you never want to be house poor. Unfortunately, property taxes go up, and therefore your mortgage can go up. So you never
Yeah,
want to be house poor. So we have these conversations. So that's one of the ways we help our buyers.
yeah. That is it. I usually estimate them higher on
Hmm.
the on the um on the loan side. So I do already kind of I try to build in that wiggle room for them. So when they're shopping, they're not like hopping into something that's like that they should be able to like won't be house poor. Like I kind of
Right.
give them that little wiggle room, already kind of put them at a higher rate, and then odds are by the time we get there and what they found, they're in a lower they're in a better position.
I see.
So
Yeah, you're good with that.
yeah. Hopefully, I try. And okay, so Glenn, so what's going on right now? We have a lot of people out there that are, especially with social media and everything, there's a lot of talk with the rates lowering.
Hmm.
I know out here I'm already seeing more listings um going like more inventory. I feel out here and in most places is going to start to open up. um
Correct.
so I don't know if you're seeing that over there, just because like it makes sense. It doesn't make sense for a seller to, or most of them wouldn't qualify, but it wouldn't make sense for them to go from a 3 or 4% to an 8%. But
Right.
now that they're getting back into the fives, I think that we're going to see a lot more sellers making those moves, being able to qualify on the other side, and just more inventory opening up. Is that something that you're already kind of seeing? Are you seeing
Correct.
a lot of the sellers still kind of waiting maybe for that rate drop?
We're seeing more of the sellers who have to move. So
Okay.
that is what's really been driving listings. Those who have to move, they happen to move because they need to upgrade. They have a
Mhm.
increase in family size. They're or they need to downsize because like me, their knees are starting to hurt. And they get
Yeah.
tired going up those stairs. So we're
Yeah.
seeing
No more stairs. That's funny. That
So
would
what's
be pretty wild to move just like, and I understand more like with older age, but
that?
that would be a
So
pretty wild scenario for me. Like to get rid of the stairs in your house just because they're, like you're running
I
out of
mean,
breath.
I mean, you'll be surprised. I have a lot of clients who literally are just tired of going up and down the stairs. So
Yeah.
they want to downsize or they want a one story. So we see a lot of that. But as far as a lot of those who are still waiting, who are sellers who just want a bigger home, they just or they want to make a luxury expenditure, so to speak. Um, we still haven't seen that uptick in that, like we were seeing earlier, because there's still a discrepancy, unfortunately. Now, when someone is going from existing to new, we see it, but I'm not seeing a lot of the existing to existing sales like we were seeing earlier.
Okay.
So unfortunately, that's what we're seeing a lot of, and we're seeing a lot of people taking the equity that they've been holding on into their homes and buying homes for their kids. So we're seeing that
I
a lot.
mean, they're gonna need it. Yeah,
Hmm.
the millennials are not being favored right now.
No, they are not. Not when the
No,
median
it's
income
pretty,
is like
yeah.
100,000 that you need for a house. So that's a lot of money.
Well, even out here in California, I think ultimately it's like to qualify for like the average pricing or like most of them, there's still like a lot of areas that have like 500,000, 600,000. But if you're in like LA, Orange County, they're like over 1 million. And I think you need like 240,000 so both would be, you would need those dual couples like both kind of crushing it in my
Definitely.
like not only to both have jobs but like be crushing it
Oh,
like
definitely,
you know
definitely. Yeah,
both
California is a
clearing
different
over
market.
100,000. So I mean, even like last year, even a couple of years ago, I thought 75,000 to 100,000 making like a salary or an income a year was um good, like very good, I think,
Hmm.
per person. But now that's kind of, with all the affordability has been raised up. So now in order to kind of survive now, like 120 to 150 per person. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
um
things have changed. Like I said, when I moved to Texas, I was making $46,000.
yeah,
Uh, I can't do anything with that now.
yeah. I know it's pretty, it's one of those things, you just got to roll with it. I just try to get my clients to really focus, I hone in on their payments and we look at what that equity building would bring them. And really, I'm a big goal person. So I usually try to help them build that roadmap, but also like go over the sacrifices that are going to have to, like, hey, California's going up like 5-7% each year. So in appreciation. So
Hmm.
it's like already in a couple of years, you're going to be way ahead of the game, but
Right,
you might be eating noodles for 2024.
right, right.
Like,
I- If you're renting, it's still a great time to
just,
buy.
80 grand in equity in a couple of years, but noodle diet. So it's really depends, what people's thresholds are. I feel like to purchase
Definitely.
right now, and you have to change your mindset to like how you did that day. y- like how is this gonna happen? Or you just need to start and you just need
Hmm.
to grasp onto that concept. Um, so let's get into what about our Californians that are just filling up Texas? I know they love to have us there.
Yeah, we joking because we mentioned sometimes if you're posting videos and feeds about how you're loving moving to Houston or you're just enticing Californians, sometimes Houston jokes and they're not that receptive. They'll say we're full, And that's
Nope.
really just
Well, you better
we
make
got plenty of
room because
space.
we're coming. I'm going to go to Austin where, yeah, I feel like Texas is still at like the top. I think Florida is also another one.
Mhm.
Florida, Texas, and Arizona for most of the Californians that are moving. But Texas, I think, is still there at the top, especially
And
over
for
the last few years.
very good reasons. One of the big reasons that we are seeing a lot of veterans, especially
Yep.
moving to Texas, especially those who have disability ratings.
Yep.
Because if you're 100% disabled in Texas, you're not paying any property taxes.
Okay.
So at all, like so, the major
They're
expenditure for
exempt. Yeah.
home purchase is the property taxes because there is no state income tax.
Yep.
Um, Even the sales tax, the base is very small in Texas. Like for instance, automobile repairs, you're not paying taxes on those. So the tax base for sales tax is very small, but the biggest tax by far is property
Is
taxes.
property. Yeah.
So if you move here, you don't have to pay property taxes, you're ahead.
Oh,
So
100%. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, but yeah, that that's only like a handful. Yeah, like um we're paying like most, yeah. And but I feel like it comes with I still, even though they have higher property taxes,
Mhm.
ultimately to leave here and go there, yes, the property taxes are higher, but the quality of life is still there's still going to be a lot more on a day to day of like affordability. So I think that's
Definitely.
where a lot of families are just kind of leaning into.
Mhm.
So if you do have Californians going over there, where do they start? If they want to go to Houston, like um, what would kind of be the first places that they would check? Because I know like Texas is huge. So how do you usually guide them if you know that they're leaving like LA, Orange County? Like what are if you know that they're coming from like LA, Orange County, are there certain things that you kind of like prepare them for, or like
Exactly.
like
Well,
this is gonna be a lot different? Yeah.
so I mean, some of the questions are typical. Like I try to see, who they know. Do they have any family here? But every now and then, I have that one person. I don't know anybody in the whole entire state of Texas. I have no preference. Give me a
Yeah.
breakdown, city by city. Where should I go? And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
let's do this. So,
That would be me.
excuse me.
Yeah.
So, Hill Country is Austin.
Yep.
In Austin, in between Austin and San Antonio, is Hill Country. So if you like the hills, you like the
Yep.
mountains, if you like that vibe, um, Austin is going to be very, very attractive to you. Uh,
Austin, and that's like Orange County. That's like I
yes.
hear it's like fake Texas now. That's
I
where
mean,
all of Orange County went. Yeah.
they,
That's
I
where
mean,
I'm
in
going.
between, I
Yeah.
mean, right outside of San Antonio, I even have a wine country. It's called Fredericksburg.
Ooh, okay.
So, I mean, it's in February. I mean, they have so many different events. So, if we're talking about that's kind of your vibe, that's what you like to do. If you like hiking, oh man,
Yeah.
yeah, Austin. If you like wine countries, San Antonio is a
I
little bit more
like
a little
hiking,
more
but
valley.
in that heat, like, yeah, I don't know. Is there like 1 month that you could hike over there?
You- Austin doesn't have the humidity index that
Okay.
Houston has. So so the fall weather, is still really, really good. So I
Yeah,
would say between like November, March, April.
it's
Um,
good.
yeah, it's good. Now mind you, I'm originally from Chicago and I have not shared that. So so 30 to 40 degrees, I'm good with that. I put a coat on. That might not be,
Okay, no,
you
no,
know,
no. I am set at a all-time temperature of 70 degrees. So,
70 degrees.
yeah,
Okay, so
anything
you have
below or above that, we're gonna have some issues. No, no, no. I'm better in the heat,
yeah,
but
about 2 months of fall.
no, I've lived in a desert before. I lived
Okay.
in Nevada, but again, I think that heat is also still different.
It is.
In
It
Texas.
is. Um, it's a lot different. Dallas is going to have more of your temperature variations, so you can actually get snow in Dallas.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
So you will see snow. So the three metropolitan areas, of course, are Houston, Dallas,
Yeah.
San Antonio area. Dallas slash Fort Worth. I'm sorry. So those are the three metropolitan areas. So yeah, Dallas, you're gonna get a little bit more snow. The price points, Austin is going to be slightly more expensive than Dallas. Dallas more expensive than Houston, and San Antonio kind of look right. I would
Yeah.
say below Houston right now. So um,
Is Houston more like which? I feel like Austin, just right off the bat, kind of sounds more like investor, like maybe not as family oriented. Like, would Houston be more like if you're moving with your family over there?
there's still plenty of stuff to do with the family in any of
Just
the three
like,
major
yeah,
cities. There's still water parks, amenities.
okay,
You have Six Flags in San Antonio, you have Six Flags in Dallas.
oh,
So you have a lot of amenities. Austin and San Antonio really aren't that far from each other.
mhm.
So you can, really take
Just
advantage of
wherever.
both. hmm Dallas is about 4 hours outside of Houston. So you're not going from Houston to Dallas. You can do the Houston to Austin. It's about 2.5 hours. Like you want to take
Okay,
like a day trip. And then Austin is a lot closer to San Antonio. So um, to me, the cost of living in Dallas is a lot more expensive. I'll argue to say Houston has better food.
yeah. And so Houston is going to be also a little more affordable than like Austin and Dallas. And is that maybe because like more of Cali, I feel like has kind of gone into Austin, maybe more right off the bat. So that has gone up, right?
I,
A little bit.
yeah, I would say that might be a driving factor for sure.
Yeah.
But yes, Austin is definitely the more expensive of the
More
three.
expensive, and then Dallas, and then Houston. So
Correct.
that is perfect. What if they were? So I do also have a lot of investors. So we've been looking into like Airbnbs in like Austin or um, would like those three main areas that we've kind of been touching on. Are those also like good investor kind of investor pools over there? Like
For
if you're an
for
investor?
Airbnb, so
Hmm.
in the Dallas area, I'll tell you they got a Universal Studios coming. So
Okay.
and
So
you've
maybe
seen
holds,
you've
like
seen some
buying holds.
yeah, so you've seen some major price appreciation in that area, for
Okay.
sure. And it's just been constantly going up. In the Austin Land area, of course, you got a lot of major schools there, so a lot of jobs there. You have the government structure there, so all the government jobs. So it's the capital.
Yeah.
So there is a big Airbnb pool there as well.
Yeah.
So I would say you can't really go wrong with either market. A
Any
lot of
of them.
opportunities for Airbnbs in Houston and in the Dallas. I'm sorry, in Austin and in the Dallas area.
Yeah.
So
And even the buy and holds. I mean, I still feel like the appreciation there is maybe not as, California is its own beast, but
mhm,
um, Texas is also has had a just climbing appreciation also.
it has, it has.
So,
Okay.
oh, sorry. Um, so I do think that that is also a big driving factor for even people that aren't moving. Like a lot of people I know live in California, but
Mhm.
invest in
Yes,
Texas. So I
definitely.
think that's huge too. And then just kind of wrap up here, Glenn, what is your advice um basically to our new either new investors, new Californians just kind of preparing for the end of this year. So we have some rate drops coming. How do you think that they should mainly be preparing in the Houston area?
Um,
And what do you predict, kind of? I know no crystal ball, but what is
no,
your expertise prediction?
I mean, just from a macro level, I've been watching, what's going on with the interest rates, and I've been noticing that there's perception and there's reality. So with the mortgage and interest rates, I tell people it's like the stock market. So keep in mind that when the Feds do drop the interest rates when they meet in September, all the hoopah, all the rate drops that we've been seeing so far is just based on the perception that
Yep.
they're going to drop the rates. So when they actually do drop the rates, there's going to be the perception that there are going to be further drops and so forth. So therefore,
Mhm.
that initial rate drop is going to probably be much larger than what it will eventually equalize at.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about doing a move and September 18th comes, they meet and the rates drop, and you're trying to do something between that point in time and December, you might want to make a move.
Yeah.
And
Now.
that's like now.
Yeah.
so
Yesterday. Yeah.
so get with your CPAs, with your accountants, get with your finance team, depending on whatever level you are at, or just get with a pretty experienced agent and start looking at the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be, I know, and I feel like they're doing it right now. And I've heard a lot, usually, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but on the realtor side, like during this season is a little slower for people shopping, right? Or kind of getting into the houses. I think we're going to have a little shift this year, and I think it's going to stay busier than usual, especially if
Yeah,
they drop. Um, do you kind of see that as well? Like, is it usually a slower season? Like, this is kind of when you tell, I've had some realtors kind of, tell them actually shop now during this winter season because they might be able to get seller credits or, the people
exactly.
that are selling need to sell, like they need a problem solved. Um,
Exactly.
so I feel like with that already a thing and then the rates coming down, I think it's yeah,
You,
it's gonna
it's
stay a
a
little
it's
bit.
It's definitely a possible shift. Right now, with very rare exception, we're very much in the buyer's market. And when I say rare exception, keep in mind
Mhm.
every neighborhood is different. So that's why local real estate agents matter. Every
Yeah,
area is different. So you
yeah.
can't be in a buyer's market for the whole entire country. It just doesn't work, or even
No.
a city or a metropolitan area. So, but in a lot of areas, there's a buyer's market. If that shifts to a seller's market, a lot of those concessions that you're seeing,
Yeah,
they're going to evaporate.
yeah,
And yes, this market is very different. I've never seen the months of May, June, July when it's typically peak season, and we're seeing a lot of builder incentives. You are
yeah.
still seeing a lot of people get to the closing table and get their earnest money back.
Yeah, and yeah, even the
So,
I just recent my they mine were VA loans, but just
mhm,
recently we got one we got 18,000 in seller
mhm,
credits. And this is
mhm.
the homes were both like 600,000. Like one was like 6, one was like 645. So they were kind of outskirt areas.
Right.
Glenn, thank you so much for joining us today. If anybody is looking to move or already in the Houston area or in Texas, also, but in any other state, California, and you were looking to make that move, um, Glenn and his wife Rita will love to help out. I'll have all their information below, and then I also am. I do the financing in Texas as well. So yes, I will have all your information below. Hopefully this was helpful. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Thank
And I would like to add, if anybody's thinking about joining EXP Realty,
Oh,
uh,
yes,
especially from California, Will Higgins up there is my upline. He's in California,
that's
and
awesome.
we would love to have you. Love to tell
Okay.
you about all the different things our broker offers.
Yeah, and that's a big one. EXP, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, EXP Realty. Okay, yeah, that one is huge out here. So we'll put that below as well. And yeah, thank you so much, Glenn, and we will see you soon.
See you soon.